Alrighty, I think we're recording. Yay!
Good job, Susie.
Yay! I can actually work this computer. It's just been one of those days today, so
It happened.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so when I was going over, when we were talking about the topics, I just have been listening to a lot of Tony Robbins lately, and I know it's been helping keep my focus and my mindset where it needs to be more than what it has been. And like, it seems like every single video that I've listened to, or even the MP3s that Ashley put on Tony's, and some of the Tony and Oprah episode was all about overcoming fears and changing how you talk to yourself. Sorry. And there was a couple of things, and even like there was another video that I was listening to when I was at work this morning, that all kind of fell together. So I was like, hey, this is cool. So just bear with me on this, because I've been running around here like a mad person trying to get the computers working. So I'm just going to jump right in, because I don't know, how many people do we have on the Success Club board yet? Do we have a few?
Yeah, I haven't looked lately. I think just having, no one's in Success Club yet. Me, Ashley, and Nancy's really close. She's at like 4.
Oh, that's cool, Nancy. Yay.
Yeah, and it's like, I think this month, she hit Success Starters hit her first month of Success Starters.
Yeah,
so then if she hits next month.
So
yeah.
When she hits it again this month, then she'll have 2 down and 1 to go. Yay. Okay, so way to go, Nancy, on that. And I know my coach, Charity, has 2. So she's back in it. Yay. And Echo's got something in the works, too. So my newest coach. So anyways. But I know there's been a lot of people killing it lately. So yay, everybody, since I don't have it pulled up. Okay, so Tony Robbins, he's always talking about changing your story, and what goes on whenever you're talking to yourself. And I think Nancy did a video on this on the team page, where we grow up and we get told, you can't do this, or don't do that. Usually parents mean it in a way where they're protecting us from getting hurt physically. But a lot of times when we're children, we take it meaning we can't do certain things. We take it more literally to our heart and soul. And every parent's guilty of it. I'm guilty of it, telling my kids that. And then as they got older, trying to reinstill in them that you can do whatever you want to do, it's just a lot harder to give them that self-confidence and the boost that they can do whatever they want to do, since they were told part of their life they can't do this or they can't do that, even if it was just purely to protect them from physically hurting themselves. But as Tony Robbins says, you have to divorce. Hold on, what did he say? Okay, he has 3 things: strategy, story, and state. Strategy is figuring out how you're going to go about something to achieve your goals. And he says that just, there's strategies all around us, especially like the example he gave. He said, if you're needing to lose weight, you can walk outside and there's 10 gyms within a 5-mile radius that you can go to lose weight. And in our case, we specifically, go towards people who we feel needs our products and our services as a coach. So then he was saying that we all have a story that we've told ourselves over and over and over again. But in order to change that story, we have to divorce the story and marry the truth. So if we've been telling ourselves, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this because of whatever, I know, like, whenever I was a teenager and a young adult, I didn't think I could because I came from a very poor family. Well, obviously, anybody can do anything if they set their minds to it. I definitely wouldn't think I would be with Beachbody doing as well as I am 15, 20 years ago, if it had been around then. But I didn't think that there was any place other than going to college and be in the business world for the rest of my life till I was ready to retire. So whenever I realized that there was something more out there, obviously it was whenever my kids were teenagers and they were needing me at home, and I had to figure out a better way so I could be at home with them more than driving to Dallas every day and working 8 to 10 hours, driving an hour to 2 hours to and from work, like I was doing when I started Beachbody in Palestine. So whatever the story is, doesn't matter. I can't do it because I'm not rich enough, or I can't do it because I'm not strong enough, or whatever the case may be. You just have to divorce it. Don't ever look back, and then realize that you are good enough. And of course, this is where the PD comes in, because without reading certain books on certain topics, and one of the books that I'm reading right now is You Can Heal Your Life, and it's really awesome. There was one passage I was reading today, and it says, we can change our attitude toward the past. The past is over and done. We cannot change that now. Yet we can change our thoughts about the past. How foolish for us to punish ourselves in the present moment because someone hurt us in the long ago past. I mean, that we carry a lot of stuff with us for years and years and years that probably happened to us when we were a child or when we were a teenager, and maybe even a young adult. But that's not who we are anymore, because we're forever changing, evolving, growing. With each experience, we learn something new, and we're able to take that and mold us into what we've learned from that. So as we're gathering our strategies and we're divorcing the old stories and marrying the truth about ourselves, then comes along the state, which is the emotion. So as we all know, in law of attraction, you have to feel what you're trying to attract. So say, okay, I want to be a 1-star diamond by the end of the year. I have to know that I can do that, and that my team can do that before, and really feel what it feels like to achieve that before I can achieve that. So as far as the state goes, he said that's the most essential key to the 3 strategies to be able to move towards your breakthrough. And I think we've probably have heard Aisling say it over and over and over again, that once you can feel the emotion that goes along with what your goal is, and really honestly feel everything and be able to essentially feel it as if it's happening right then that's when we can move towards that. There was another video that I was watching, and it was about breakthroughs. I think it was maybe one of Les Brown's videos, but he said the impossible becomes possible if you take immediate action. And I mean, that's like the underlying story behind all of the mindset PD, I believe, is, you can do anything you want to do, but you have to take the action to be able to achieve those goals, because you can sit on your butt all day long, daydream and want, but you're not going to achieve it unless you actually do something every single day consistently to reach those goals. So, does anybody else have anything that they want to chime in with, or a question? like I see a little bit of a face.
I'll ask a question.
Okay.
So when he says divorce your old mindset,
Mm-hmm.
are there some tips that he gave you to divorce your old mindset?
Well, he said basically like if you were going to break up with an old boyfriend or divorce your spouse, you know, he said don't be the kind of spouse that goes to revisit the old behavior or the ex. Let's just put it that way, the ex behaviors or the ex person. He said don't be the type of person that goes back for, you know, seconds, thirds, fourths, whatever. But he said be the type of person that is done, completely done. Just, you know, don't want to go there again. Push it way, way, way back in the past where it belongs. And he said just go from there. And I mean, he has like different techniques that he uses if you're watching some of his videos, but it's like more like body language type things to kind of get you going on the right path to changing your mindset. It's kind of hard for me to explain, but you could probably pick up on it if you're listening to some of the MP3s that Ashley put in the Google Drive, because I was listening to the first day and I was like recognizing it just because I've been listening to a lot of his videos for the past couple weeks. And I mean, it's kind of funny how he does it because he'll use humor and he'll cuss. I mean, he'll drop the F-bomb a few times, which doesn't hurt my feelings, but you know, some people may be very sensitive to that, but he does it in a way to shock a person into being like, oh, wait, what? You know, and realizing that that's not the proper response, you know, that he's looking for. And then they kind of go back and start to think and revisit, you know, be completely honest. He said kind of you have to be completely honest with yourself on how you felt and why you felt that particular feeling to be able to realize how it's affecting your life. So, like if you've been afraid of something, there was one video I was watching that had this older lady in it, and she had been behaving more masculine just so she could achieve, you know, grasp the love of her father, that she never really got the love of her father because if she acted more feminine, she thought that was a sign of weakness. And so she acted masculine all the time so that he wouldn't think she was weak. So, and then that carried on through her marriages and her you know, raising her children and stuff like that. And when she realized it, she started letting go of that. And like her whole body language and even her voice, the way she was talking had like literally changed. And I was like, wow, that's pretty wild how just one emotion can change everything about yourself throughout your life and how you portray yourself just because you wanted one particular person's love so badly that you thought you were becoming what they wanted you to become versus what you really were. So it was really interesting when I was watching that video. I'll have to find the name of that video where y'all can, and I'll post it underneath this whenever I post the recording. But it was really, really, really interesting. I really can't wait till we go to the GoPro seminar because he's going to be there in December. So I'm like, oh, I got to see what he does in real life. So just watching the videos is just kind of got me all psyched up for that. But yeah, it's pretty intense when you're watching one of the videos that he does. But at the same time, it kind of puts it home to where you can relate to it at the same time.
Well, I'm a no BS kind of a coach. My approach to my members, my customers, my clients, however you want to call it, is I don't sugarcoat things. So I think that his videos wouldn't offend me anyway.
Right.
But there are some coaches out there that do
right.
like things sugar coated, so maybe they may not like that as much. But I don't know any motivational speaker that is someone that tiptoes around the subject.
Yeah, I mean, even Oprah, she's pretty blunt, even though she might not throw the F-bomb, but she's pretty blunt in the way she delivers. And
right,
you know, even she was the one that was him with her. She was talking about, you know, the things that she went through in her life and, you know, how that like she knew from the really young age of like, I think she said 6 or 7, that she wasn't going to be a maid like her grandmother, that she was going to be somebody that was important, but she didn't know what that somebody that was important was. But she just deep down. I'm sorry?
That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. She said that, her grandmother was basically like teaching her how to be a maid, because she told her that that's what she was going to have to do, as an adult, was to be a maid, and hopefully that she would find a good family that would treat her well and stuff like that. And she said, I knew, just from watching my grandmother, I wasn't going to be able to be the type of person that was going to be able to wait on people. She goes, I knew I was destined for something bigger and better. And she said she spent the rest of her childhood, her teenage years, and her young adulthood figuring out what that was. And she said she didn't really realize exactly what it was until, I guess she said it was like her mid-20s. So, and I thought that was interesting, because I thought it was just like a natural progression for her, since she was a reporter, to go into doing a talk show. But evidently it wasn't as natural of a progression for her that it seemed like it was for everybody else, watching her. But yeah, it's really interesting to get different perspectives on, the law of attraction, and how, and knowing that you were destined for something greater, and how to put that into action. And, we just all have to keep our goals in line, kind of keep our eye on our goals, but not to a point to where you're like freaking out about it, but to a point that you're just reminding yourself what you're working towards, because that's really where the motivation comes to be consistent. I used to let my goals freak me out majorly, and I would like freeze up and be like, I can't do this. But anything is attainable if you take it one step at a time, or, you can't eat an elephant other than one bite at a time. So even if your goals feel like it's an elephant right now, if you just do your vitals every day, you stay consistent on reading your personal development with your mindset, and help you focus on your goals, or broaden your leadership skills, whatever you may need to be working on, or that you feel deep down that you need to be working on, then everything else will kind of fall into place naturally. And I'm kind of feeling that everything is kind of starting to align itself with everything that I've been thinking I need to work on, because like I'll turn on YouTube and look for, okay, what am I going to listen to today? And it's just been mindset, beliefs, overcoming fear. And because, even Tony Robbins says you have to overcome your fears, because your fears is an emotion that you've taught yourself, not necessarily that it's true. You may not be afraid of something. It's just something happened at a certain point in your life to make you feel afraid of something else. So I've been like doing a lot of soul searching as to how things have happened in my life, and figuring out the emotion that has gone with it. And some of them are big, but, trying to like minimize those emotions to a certain extent, to where I can focus more on my goals and not the emotion that is associated with that event in my life. So, hi. But, so yeah, that's the way I've been handling, overcoming my fears, is basically dealing with whatever event made that emotion pop through my life, and kind of putting the lid on it to smother it a little bit, so to speak. And I know Tony Robbins has been doing a lot of good for me on that, just because of how he approaches things. The bluntness, the F-bomb here and there, and then, of course, the book that I mentioned earlier, You Can Heal Your Life, is really eye-opening, and it's kind of brought everything kind of in line, so I could focus more on staying consistent with the vitals and being able to just go with it and not be freaking out about those goals that I have. So anyway, anybody got any comments? Any more comments?
Yeah, okay, so obviously I missed everything. So can you repeat the whole call? No, only joking. I was doing a call for Carly Del Carlo's team, so I was like, okay, I have to get off and now do this. I don't know what you said about the Tony Robbins stuff. I heard you just touch upon it there in the end. Are you doing it? Are you doing the course, the one I uploaded?
I started to, but I've been listening to a lot of his stuff on YouTube, and I listened to the one with him and Oprah, which was really awesome. And then there was another one. I had to find the name of it and post it, because it was one where he was working with this one older lady, and I was kind of going over it, but like you could physically see her whole demeanor change as he was working with her. It was just amazing. Just you have to be open enough to let that system that he has work through, and you can definitely see the night and day difference. It was just really, it kind of brought me to tears to that point. And I was like, okay, crap, I got to get out this other book and start reading on that. So I've just been doing a lot of Vanessa has to go. But I've been doing a lot of PD on mindset and overcoming fears, and keeping breaking through the limitations. Those have been like over the past couple of weeks, every single video, like, oh, I'll listen to that. And that happens to be on one of those 3 subjects. So it's kind of been like, some people word it godsend. So, it's like, this is what triggered my, what I needed for that day or at that moment. So I listened to it, and yeah, I'd probably people see me wiping my eyes or, turning away from it where everybody can see me and doing something else for a moment. Cause like literally I probably caught myself from being in total tears 5 or 6, 10 times in the past couple of weeks. So it's been really good. I love it.
I'm glad it's working for you and getting you out of, or helping you through what you're going through. I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, that's good. And I'm glad you're getting the work in your mindset, and you're not just accepting it and lying down and taking it and saying, per me, victim, and all that kind of stuff. Tony Robbins, absolutely amazing. I'm doing that course right now, and it's changing everything for me in my mindset. Truly changing everything. If you allow me to share for just 2 or 3 minutes, I have to do a live video on the team, because I've been meaning to do this, and I just shared with Carly's team the whole idea of what he's talking about in the beginning. I'm like into day 5 now. He's talking about what makes human beings do anything or be motivated to do anything are 2 things, either pain or pleasure. So they will do almost anything to avoid pain, or they do something for pleasure. And that's basically it. So I give the example with Carly's team. I sit down, I procrastinate, and I don't, really want to do my invites or whatever. Especially today, I didn't have a good day at all, and this would have been a day where I definitely would not have done my invites or my power hour. I just know I wouldn't have. I would have let the excuse go over me. But because of what I've been listening to and learning with Tony Robbins the last few days about the pain pleasure thing, I managed to switch my mindset because of him. And so I just wanted to share what that was. So what he says is, whenever you have a association to something, so let's give an example. For me, right now, I obviously have some kind of negative association to success or something like that. So for me, in my mind, in order to be successful, it takes sacrifice, right? So I think that's something that's holding me back from really being truly to successful to where I want to be, my definition. And so whenever you have that negative association, you'll do anything to avoid that pain, right? So even though you're sitting here saying, I want to be successful, I want to be a successful coach, you sit down to do your invites and you don't do it because in your mind at the time, it's more painful to do your power hour, to actually do it, than to sit and procrastinate. It's easier to procrastinate. It's less painful. So we'll do whatever we want to do to avoid that pain, right? And as I listened to this, I was like, God, this is probably like all of us, like who are coaches and stuff. This is what goes on. He's nailed us. And so today I went through that. I was like, I'm not doing it. There's no way I'm going to do it, blah, 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 blah. I was really telling myself that. But then I employed what he said. He said, instead of looking at the pain you're trying to avoid, look at that situation and think, if you don't do it, think of the pain that's going to cost you.
Yeah.
And I was like, boom, like that was just crazy. And so I was sitting there like, poor me, I'm gonna do it. And then I was like, shit. So he said, write 10 things about that it will cost you. So I wrote down, like, I have my list. Where's my book? It's here somewhere. And I wrote down everything. So I was like, okay, if I'm not successful, right? So if I just, decide to never do power hours ever again, this won't work for me. And so I was like, if I'm not successful, then obviously Diego will have to go back to work, which means I'm going to be way crazier busy looking after Gabriel. We're both going to be way more exhausted, which is going to cause a deterioration in our marriage, even though we're getting so good right now. We'll probably have to put Gabriel in some kind of daycare and someone else will have to look after him. We're going to lose time freedom, travel freedom, financial freedom. We're going to lose happiness. Like, I started writing all this stuff that it would cost me, like what the pain would be. And so as soon as I thought to myself, oh my gosh, so the pain of this is nowhere near as bad as the pain of that. I will do anything to avoid that. And it made me sit down and do my power hour easily. And I thought it was phenomenal that I could switch my mind that way and identified it. So I think I really need everyone in this team to start doing that course and when the time is right for them. But this is something that we all need for our minds, because we all get this. We all go through these points. We've all shared it. Even the most successful people in the team, we've all shared and talked about this, that we all succumb to those moments of doubt, those moments of pain, bad days. And as soon as you start realizing what he's saying, and you employ it, he words it in a way that he knows how to word it, that it clicks with your brain. He not only does NLP, he does this other stuff that kind of takes it to a whole new level so that you click. You actually have a breakthrough and you act upon it. And I was like, everyone needs to be doing this. Like, this whole thing is free to our whole team, and it's changing my mind like this. I'm only on day 5. So I was just curious to hear how far you got into it, but I think it'd be amazing for you when you're ready.
I listened to the first day, but it was throughout the day while I was at work. And so I'm like, I'm gonna have to stop and re-listen to everything. So when I get home and I can actually take notes. And it was just, it was like on Friday. So
yeah, definitely. Cause I'm taking notes like a crazy person, like where I have like a whole notepad for it here, because that was one of the assignments. He said, make a success journal where you're only writing successful things, successful thoughts, goals, and all that kind of stuff. And so I've just been taking notes and notes. It's definitely something, because we had this conversation and I'm like, don't just listen to it. You have to sit down and study it, because it gives you an assignment every day and you have to do that assignment. I went to do day 2 the next day, not fully completing the assignment. And the first thing he says is, okay, have you done the assignment from yesterday? If not, stop this tape right now. Do not continue until you've done the assignment. And I was like, crap. And he made me go do it. And so I did it. And then he did the same thing. He did the same thing on day 3. And I was like, crap. But I'd already, I think I'd done it at that point. I was all proud. And then day 4, he's like, I don't even have to tell you anymore. If you made it this far, you're doing it. So I was like, yay. So it really, really works. And just, I know that so many of you coaches have spoke to me personally and said, you procrastinate or you can't just get yourself to do it. Please, please, please start doing that course that I completely uploaded to our Google Drive. It's in the personal development folder. It was like $250. It's a 30-day course. You got to do it every day. It's 45 minutes to an hour a day. So worth it, you guys. So worth it. No joke. I'm telling you, this is the game changer for me. I know it and I can feel it. Yeah. I'm going to do a live video about it tomorrow.
It's me listening to the Tony Robbins and, the YouTube videos of, I guess, different seminars that he has done has just been, it's done a lot to just think in my head, plus what I've read in You Can Heal Your Life. The 2 of them together is just like hit a lot of stuff home. And it's made it a lot easier for me to, for one thing, not when I do put my power hour off till late at night, because it just happens to be everything happens during the day. I get it done though, instead of being like, okay, it's 10 o'clock. I want to go to bed because I'm tired. I just do it, and even if it's 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, by the time I get to bed, I get it done. So, like right after we get off here, I'm going to go do my workout and then do my power hour or eat dinner, then my power hour. So, and here lately, it's just been crazy around the house. And so that's why I've been like diving into personal development, whether it's YouTube channel videos or, grabbing a book or audio book or something, because it's just been crazy around here. So,
yeah, well, I'm glad you're getting so much out of it. He's really phenomenal. For those of you who are going to go pro, we get 4 hours with him this year. We had 4 hours with him last year, and it was just amazing. I was not a Tony fan. I'll tell you this, I really wasn't. Like, I heard some of his stuff before and it wasn't really resonating with me. I was more like Wayne Dyer and all that kind of stuff, Louise Hay. But as soon as I was at his workshop, something just clicked. The energy, I was like, whoa, this guy is freaking fantastic. And, you know, since then I've wanted to go to one of his full 4 days, 6 days, whatever, Unleash the Power Within. And, you know, I watched the Netflix and that was mind blowing. And that's why it wasn't even a question. The reason why I actually got this course was because I'd heard Miguel Carrasco, the Canadian top coach, talk about it on a Scotty Hobbs call. And he said the personal development that changed everything for him and why he believes he's so successful is because he did this personal power course by Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
So I like immediately messaged Miguel, who I just happened to be friends with because I sold him a GoPro ticket last year. And I was like, hey, it's me, blah, blah, blah. Can you like, do you really recommend this? Like, tell me why you recommend it. And he was like, get it. And I was like, holy crap. So I just got it. I shouldn't have really spent that money this month because we've had a lot of expenses, bought a trailer and all that kind of stuff. It just wasn't a question. And I'm so glad. And I'm so glad that you all can use it. Like, best investment ever.
That's great.
Tax write-off.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I need to upload the rest of it. I need to upload the rest to our Google Drive. I only got half done because it's CDs and it takes like forever to like load up and stuff. But yeah, I'll get it done. Anyway, that's me. I can't talk anymore because I just talked on another call. My voice is going. I got 2 calls to do tomorrow. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I was fixing to start wrapping it up anyway, unless anybody else has anything.
Well, next week we have a guest speaker on our team call. We have a former top 10 coach, Carly Del Carlo, is going to be speaking to us next week.
Oh,
I just did her call today, so
Cool.
really exciting. And I'm proud of this one because she reached out to me. It wasn't the other way around. So yeah, it's cool. She even sent me a friend request today. I was like, I'm not friend requesting her, and I got the request. I'm like, I broke her. So yeah, she's going to speak to our team next week. It's going to be awesome.
Cool.
So let's pump that one up, promote it like crazy.
Yeah, that is going to be cool.
Yeah. Anyone else? Our little silent ladies there. They're just listening.
I know.
Hi, Lisa. I finally broke today. Today was my breaking point day in the reset. Day 8, horrible. Horrible. I went into the week 2 meal plan and day 8's just awful.
You can
Like, tomorrow will be better.
like as long as it's a breakfast for a breakfast or lunch for lunch or dinner for a dinner, you can switch them out. Like if you didn't like something, day for something.
Weird. Because the lunch today was just a microgreen salad. Normally it's a salad with something else. It was just the salad.
Yeah.
And breakfast was just the fruit plate. So I was like, I'm starving. I was really hungry. I got into a bad state. So I was like, screw this. I'm over it. But now that I'm getting there, I know that I've got rice and beans out there. And I hate beans. I'm just going to eat it all and be like, feed me. So we're getting there. You're doing great, Lisa.
Yeah, the first 4 days, well, the first 3, I had the worst headache. Like, and I only have maybe a cup of coffee every day, maybe every other day. It wasn't even that. Like, it was like someone was pinching my head with a vice. And then it just go to just a dull headache. And then today was the first day, day 5, where I was like, had way more energy. Like today, I just like did work. I cleaned the house. I think the thing that's hardest is like when I prep and then I turn around and I've got to like do it again. And it's like mentally exhausting.
The dishes.
Yeah.
My water bill is going to be like hundreds of dollars between flushing the toilet and the dishwasher. Like
the green poop, which turned to purple the other day because of the beets. So, I've actually been great the whole time. A lot of energy, like waking up before Diego. That's a big deal. I've been like, oh, it's amazing. It's like completely horny, so it's amazing. Things are falling into place. But today or last night was my first headache. That's when the headache came, and it was all around here. My mother-in-law, she does astrology and all this stuff, and she was like, where is it? And I said, here. And she went, that's your liver. This area, it's your liver, it's cleansing, blah, blah. I'm like, what is it detoxing out of me? I don't do anything, but obviously something.
All those years have passed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be.
Whatever else. Whatever.
No. Margarita you had the other.
Yeah, that's what it was with Nashville.
Yeah, we all did a lot of drinking while we were in Nashville, so.
I know, I'm going to be doing a lot more leadership because it's all like free. Like,
oh, wow. Well, yeah, you're definitely going to have to do lots of live videos and at leadership, so.
Yeah, I can't wait. And did you see today that Joel and Jericho like autographed like 400 Quarter Force packs?
Oh, wow.
They're Yeah, they're bringing out 400 before they're launched for the first time ever and letting everyone at leadership buy it, which is such a big deal because now we can share it with our teams and get our teams ready to actually launch a program because they've never let anyone else play with it before. So no one's really ready when it launches, if that makes sense. It's like, well, I'm going to promote this, but I don't really know what it is. So they're actually going to let us buy it there at leadership. So I'm going to get my hands on one so we can all at least see what's going on in there, you know, which will be really cool.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I got a little bit of a touch of the Core de Force because I did the workout with them in Nashville, and they, like the last 5 minutes, they didn't do a whole lot of it, but like the last 5 minutes in that class, they did a little bit of it. And then of course on Super Saturday, they did a little bit also, but it was only a few moves and that was it. So
they're giving us the live workout at leadership, the Core de Force workout. So we'll see. I'll definitely go. I'll probably just end up videoing it to you guys. Like, look, do it with me. Yeah. Anyway, we should probably go. I need to like go eat my food before I pass out. Like seriously.
Yeah. Especially if
Thank
you.
you so much for doing the call.
Oh, you're welcome. I was like read for part of it, so you just ignore that.
Okay. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it.